Energized show, up the Irish.
Okay, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Energized One-2-Watch. Roscoe, introduce the guest, man.
We have fighting out of SBG D24. It's the one and only. It's Jace's mom. It's Shauna Bannon. Shauna, how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Fantastic. Have to kick off with Jace's mom. He's an
Jace's
absolute
mom.
beaut, that fella.
I'm rocking with that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be the ring announcer next Sunday, is it?
Have his name on me fight shorts and all.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. So Shauna, like, we're just going to get into it. Like, obviously, you've like multiple fights after being announced, but you are fighting this Saturday in Bristol.
Yeah,
Can
finally.
you tell us exactly what's going on? You're getting all these fights here, like the most popular Irish women's fighter going. How's it going? Tell us the story.
She is the Casma. She's the Casma of
She is
Ireland.
the Irish Casmat.
It literally went from nothing to everything, and just
Yeah.
loads of opportunities came up, and I was like, yes, finally. So I'm fighting Charlie Burke next week in Meltdown, I think it's called the show.
Yeah.
Then 3 weeks after, I'm fighting on the Fela. I actually can't wait for that one. I'm fighting a girl called Kerry Ann from Cork. Then 3 weeks after that, I'm going to Prague for the World Cup. And then 3 weeks after that, I'm fighting for a title in England as well.
Ross, it's a fitting show, one to watch.
Yeah.
It really is. Shauna, you've got an absolutely fantastic, extensive striking background. But I know if you have Paddy Hula in your corner, that jits is on point as well. Are you looking to go out here and improve a point over these fights to show that you are a well-rounded mixed martial artist? Because I know I've seen you on shows before, and they introduce you as this striking wonder kid, and you don't like it.
No, not that I don't like. Obviously, my roots is striking, and I've done that since I'm 3. But I just think, no, I do MMA now. I'm a mixed martial artist, and I don't want people to think I'm just a striker, because I actually put so much time and effort into all the other side of it as well. So it just kind of frustrates me a little bit when people say that, because I'm like,
that's all right. You're allowed to be frustrated.
Yeah, but no, obviously striking is my background, but I am a well-rounded fighter, and I have an answer for any situation I get in.
And then saying that you have an answer for every situation, obviously you have multiple fights lined up, like more than Kazmat has ever had lined up at the one time, right? And, obviously you're just going to have to go in and be the best version of yourself. You can't really be preparing for each individual person when in 2 weeks down the road you could be fighting a different style.
Yeah.
Is that your game plan, just to constantly improve yourself, and then, your skill set will prove its own points?
Exactly, that's what it is. I'm constantly trying to just get better at every single aspect of MMA. But obviously then, my focus now is Charlie. And then after that, I'll be focusing on Kerry Ann. Then after that, the IMAFs you don't know. So that's kind of a different scenario as well, because that's tournament based. So that would be something I would be used to in anyways with kickboxing, because I fight in tournaments all the time. But in the kickboxing circuit, you kind of get used to the people because it's always the same. Whereas with the IMAFs, they're not on as regular, and I probably will have a completely different division than I would have the last time. Some people could be pro, some people could have left. It all changes so often. So that's kind of different as well. So I think focusing too much on what the person can do or what they normally do isn't good either, because they're trying to progress and get better as well. So you could be like, oh, that person's really good at a guillotine or really good at an armbar or something. And then at the fight, it doesn't even get into them scenarios. So I think focusing too much on a certain thing is bad as well,
Definitely, I definitely agree, and especially in your amateur career as well. You know what I mean? When the record doesn't matter as much until you turn pro, I think concentrate on yourself, get yourself to be the best mixed martial artist you can. And I see it on your Instagram all the time, Shauna. You're a student of the game. You're constantly watching fights all the time. You're hooked on it.
Jason's even watching them now.
Yeah,
no cartoons, watching the UFC.
Yeah, he probably prefers it as well. I'll have to get Theo on that. He tries to get me in the armbar every now and then, but sure, look, you know what I mean? He's got better jits than I do. Sure, look, it is what it is. But tell us this: you're fighting Kerry Ann, not this time, but the next time. She's on the same IMAF team as you are, isn't she?
Yeah, so that's actually how we.
What's that like now? Is that going to make it slightly awkward, or is it just the Irish scene and that's it?
No, I've only met her twice. So at the trial, she was there for the 2 things, and she was saying that it's hard to get a fight. And I was like, oh, same. I was like, do you want to fight? And then we kind of matched it that way. Do you know what I mean? So there's no kind of hard. I would never, when I'm fighting people, it's not like I hate you, blah blah blah. That one fight that there was supposed to be, people made comments about me looks, and that pissed me off. But normally when I'm fighting someone, it's just a fight, and then afterwards, you're friends with them, you are. If you don't see
Yeah,
them,
you get
whatever.
grab a gin and tonic.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? I don't have any hard feelings toward people that I'm fighting. So and we'll be going to the IMAX a few weeks later, and I'm sure we'll be grand then. Do you know what I mean?
Shauna,
It's almost like a good training fight for the 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
prep for the IMAX. We both wanted to get something in, so that was planned first, and then the one with Charlie came up like a couple of days after. So, and like some people think that's too close, but like it's amateur, and like I'll take as many fights as I can get. I'm catching up on lost time. Like I've only had really a year of active fighting. I had February 2019 to February 2020. That was like when I was active, and I had 7 fights in that period of time. But then I got pregnant, so I couldn't fight for a year. So since my first fight, I was trying to get more fights, and I had a broken hand in that year as well. So I still had like 2 months off that I couldn't fight, and I still managed to get 7 in. So I just want more. Like the time doesn't matter to me. I'm just like keep them coming.
If you are
So-
looking for a fight, get in Shauna's DMs. Go on, Basmo.
Anybody.
Shauna,
Well, I think after the next one, I'll probably be maybe looking at Compro, the last one that I have scheduled.
Shauna, obviously this is like the one to watch. Like, what? Tell us a bit about how you sort of got into martial arts. I know it's. I think it's through your dad, if I'm correct. But like, tell us how you sort of got into it, and also like how much you love it.
Yeah, so I started kickboxing when I was 3 in telemartial arts. That's my dad's gym.
Yeah.
And the first couple of years doing it, I was probably really just a messer in the class and kind of just there doing whatever. But then when I was like 10, 11, I kind of started taking it serious and traveling international and going to all the tournaments. I always went to national tournaments, but then I kind of started getting serious, going to Worlds and Europeans when I was like 10, 11.
And then one of your former teammates, well, I don't know if these continuous teammates, has actually gone to the Olympics. He's gone off to Tokyo, isn't he?
Yeah. So in 2017, I switched from kickboxing. Well, I didn't stop doing kickboxing, actually. I was still doing a little bit of kickboxing, and I switched to taekwondo because I always wanted to go to the Olympics, and kickboxing kept telling us, oh, it's going to be in the next one, it's going to be in the next one for years and years. And I just knew it wasn't going to be in my time of fighting. So I was like, I'm going to give taekwondo a go. So in 2017, I switched, and I was literally like, I don't know even how many times I competed. Like we were away like every second week, because obviously Jack was going away as well to build his ranking points for the Olympics. And for me to qualify, because I started so late in the cycle, I would have only really qualified from the trials for the Olympics. So in Europe, 2 people get to go from that tournament that's on close before, whereas he would have probably he did qualify from the ranking points because he had so much previous fights. So we were both traveling loads to try and get to our goal, because obviously then the ranking for that tournament would have been based off my ranking points. So I was flat for like a year and a half in taekwondo, but I just missed punching. And I don't know, just like at the start, like I really enjoyed it, and then there's just like little knick-knack things that like I would have had in kickboxing from the years of experience that I was just that little bit behind in taekwondo. I was always good at kicking, but it was different type of kicking. Like not really textbook kicks as such. Like it wouldn't be like a plain side kick. It'd be like weird ways, because there's magnets on your body armor and your feet pads. So once they connect, it doesn't have to actually look like a kick. It's just whatever way it happens. So it was just a bit weird, and I enjoyed it for the time that I done it, and I got great experience. Like I got to go to loads of countries, and I went and represented Ireland in the World and the Europeans, and like I had great experience and loads of fights, but it just wasn't for me. So I was like, then I was like, what do I do? So I was like, I actually might just take a year off, not competing in anything, and try and just do something different. So then I was like, I'm going to do jiu-jitsu, because Paddy had been training. When they were switching gyms, they had nowhere to train in the middle. So they used to train in the same place that I was doing taekwondo. And they'd be doing it like before or after the class, and I'd be watching, I'd be like, what the hell is going on there? Like, that's mad looking. And I never really got it, but I was like, I'd like to be able to understand this. So when I was like, had in my head that I didn't want to do taekwondo anymore, I was like, I'm going to do jiu-jitsu and just learn, and maybe not be competitive and just do a sport for fun. But sure, I done like 1 or 2 classes, and obviously then I went to the MMA class, and sure, I was like, I want to do this. There's no way I can't not do something and not be competitive at it. Like in my head, I wanted to, but then as soon as I started doing it, I was like, no, I knew as soon as I started doing the MMA classes that was something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Like it's just like I love it even more than I loved kickboxing.
There you have it, Baz.
Joe, that's actually so great to hear. That's actually so great to hear. Like, I mean, it's great to see like that, the ambition and the passion and the drive. You know what I mean? I think like a lot of people are like, I was talking to some of the lads there yesterday. A lot of people are going through life lost and they don't know what they want to do.
Yeah.
Like, fortunately, myself and Ross and yourself, obviously, are like we love doing this. You love fighting. Like, you know what I mean? Like we know what to do, and some people just are lost and just going through day by day not knowing. But hearing that, I'm just like you could be an inspiration to a lot of people, not just men but women as well, everyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so, like what's the drive now? Like obviously you're a new, like not new mother, but you're new mother. Like what now is just like the drive, and like what way are you looking at the next couple of years now as well?
Yeah, so obviously I want to make my pro debut before the end of this year. That's kind of what I want to do, and then the UFC is the goal. So I'm not going to say any certain organizations that I want to fight in beforehand, but there's obviously ones that kind of help lead to the UFC.
Yeah.
So whatever opportunities come up, but the UFC is the end goal. So I'd like to get like 5 or 6 fights, and then hopefully the UFC will be calling.
Yeah.
And make a good life for Jace.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And like I suppose two things you could take great inspiration from this weekend. The first being Ian Gary signs to the UFC.
Yeah.
So there's another Irish person in the UFC. And then Misha Tate obviously retired, became a mother, took 5 years off, and is now back this weekend. And she is in sick condition. She's the best condition I've ever seen. I was like, fucking hell. Misha Tate
like,
is
it's
shredded.
mad. It's mad. Like I'm walking around lighter now than I am before I had Jace. Like,
But also,
Jace.
but also she's got that mom strength now.
Yeah.
Also, funny enough, she took 5 years off and she's fighting Marion Renault now. But Marion Renault was 10 years older than her, which I thought was funny after taking 5 years off.
I know.
10 years
mad.
older than you. But
like, I can't wait for that fight.
yeah, shout out to Cupcake. She's an absolute legend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shauna, just before we let you go, can you tell us exactly what time you think you're going to be fighting this Saturday, and where can people exactly check it out?
Yeah, so I'll have the link in my bio once they give it to me, and I'm on actually kind of early in the card because Paddy's getting a flight home that night. So they're putting me on earlier on in the card, so I should be on around 6ish.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Right, well then,
and then
yeah.
you can let us know the following fights as they come along, and we'll just send them us in our DM and we'll repost them for you.
Yeah, sure, perfect. I'll post it on my page anyway.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Make sure to send me the link, and I'll put the link down in the bio to make sure to check out Shauna's fight this weekend. But Shauna, that we're going to wrap things up. It's probably the hottest day Ireland's seen in a long time. I'm here sweating, but we're buzzing to see you fight next week, especially because we had you on the face to face and you never fought. We were like, Jesus, like, no, it's great to have you on there as well. Shauna, do you want to tell the people where they can check you out as well?
Yeah. So my Instagram is Shauna Bannon _, and that's kind of really the only social media I use. I don't use Twitter or anything really.
I know you have a good few sponsors. Normally we ask for a prediction, but you have like 4 fights lined up, so we won't ask you to predict them all. I know you're going to say you're going to win them all, but do you want to give any sponsors any shout outs?
Yeah, so Healthy Kitchen for all my meal preps, Tristan Kennedy for doing my diet, Kerry Hannafy, West Park Gym, Top 10 Martial Arts, and No Pain No Gain, and then all my teammates and everyone that helps me.
Yeah, shout out Tristan as well. He's a legend.
Oh, and the Hot Yoga of Dundrum for letting me use their facilities all the time.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
There you have it, Basmo. She's got more sponsors than I have friends.
Yeah, you heard of Hot Yoga and your eyes expanded there. But
I was like, you know what? It gave me a flashback. Me and Baz did Hot Yoga in house one time, and like it was absolutely miserable.
I didn't even bring a towel or a drink.
Oh no!
Yeah, look, I was a rookie. I was like,
it can't be that hard. It can't be that hard. And then did it, and I was like, nah, never again.
We went in as heavyweights, left as flyweights. It was that hot. Well, here, look, if you are new to the Energized show, make sure to like, make sure to share, make sure to subscribe, make sure to check out Shauna the next Saturday. And as always,
stay energized.
Energized show, up the Irish. Been sussing you guys a couple of times. I've seen a couple of clips. I think you've done some interviews with Dylan Moran and that I saw. So keep going, keep up the good work, guys.